Hello there, I am Link584 and welcome to Gaming Chat. Now today I'd like to chat about new games versus used. Now, I find this to be a very interesting subject. I mean, people talk all the time, or they used to at least in my experience, about whether they prefer new games versus used. Well, you know what? Honestly, I think that they're both great. But it is a real topic of discussion. So, here's what I'm going to say. I used to be a new game person only. Reason for this was because I was afraid of used games. I was afraid of purchasing used titles for fear that they would break, be corrupt, that just overall it would be a messy and complicated deal. You don't get cases that look good, they're dent, they're damaged, your discs are scratched, so potential for failure down the road is higher. I didn't like it. Anyway, once I was 17, turning 18, around there I was planning for college. Now college costs a bit of money. Well, it's all dependent on where you go really, but that's not important. What's important is that you need money to go to school. And spending $60 a game is not as feasible. So, that's when I started to try used games. All my fears completely went away. Now here's the thing. The new games, when you buy them, you're supporting the developer. When you buy a used game, you're supporting the store that you bought it from. I believe that's the basic principle. So when you buy used, you're not supporting the people who made it. You're not encouraging a bigger and better version of that title, which is a shame. So, how do you fix that? Well, here's the thing. I buy new games for select titles. For example, the Legend of Zelda series is one of my personal favorites. I always buy them new, so I can always be guaranteed that there'll be more Zelda in the future. Buying used doesn't really accomplish that. Well, the thing about used, though, it was a great way for me to save money. And everyone should be doing this, I think. Is if you can't afford new, do like what I did. I'm about a year and a half to 2 years behind where everyone else is. Okay. Halo 4 came out. Let's see, everyone else buys it, everyone else is playing it. You know what, that's fine. That could be your select title that you buy. But what about a regular solo game? Something that, maybe people all, if your friends bought it and you're all talking about it maybe, but you know what? In the end, it's really more of a personal experience. It's more of a solo adventure, because it is. But you keep it to yourself, really, and you take the memories with you. That's what's important, right? Is the gameplay. Some of discussion comes secondary. Well, I'm behind. I have about 12 games backlogged, though, because of how much money I've saved from buying these games, which is I usually buy used games when there's a buy two, get one. So now what happens is usually games at this point where they're a couple years behind, they can be incredibly cheap, at the highest price being about $30 per game. So let's take the highest. Well, at $30 a game and it's buy two, get one, it's costing me $60 for 3 games. Well, if I bought those 3 games new, that would be $180 plus the tax, $190. So $190 versus what? $65? In the end, my money is going 3 times the distance. But I'm not supporting the developers, though. That's a problem. That is a problem. I'm enjoying their games, but they're not benefiting from me. So the idea of making more great games, it's limited. It's not, how are they supposed to know that I enjoyed their product? So for the used gamer crowd, you can always tweet them, email them, go to their forums, and leave feedback about what you like and don't like about their games. See, being a used game gamer does not have to be a bad thing. But at the same time, money is the biggest thing. So you buy a new game once in a while for your favorites. And when you buy used, leave comments. Share your opinion. See if maybe there's some way that they can see what you've written, like tweet or email them. So that way they have some feedback to go on, and then they'll make better games, then maybe you'll be more inclined to buy it new. But to the rest of us, money is an object, we need it to live first. But I was able to feed my gaming habits by buying used. Games that I slipped or missed out on, it just slowly piles and piles and piles and piles and piles. And now I have all sorts of games. I mean, I still have Red Dead Redemption, which is like 2 years old or something, I don't even know. I mean, that's one example of how big my stockpile's gotten. So they'll be there when I'm ready. But now I'm getting too far ahead. But now it's like I could just wait longer till they're even cheaper. But once you get into this habit, maybe you can get your friends involved. So you can all be on the same page. So you can all play games together when they're old. So there are some ups and downs to this. So I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. I mean, after all, I chatted about it. Now I want to hear you guys say a little something. So I'm going to fade out here. But when I do, behind me, there's going to be this wall of discussion where I'm going to be putting annotations to link to some of the best video responses articulating and discussing this topic and what their personal habits are as well. Or also some of the best comments that you guys have written below. So check back later to see what some people are saying about this topic, because I find it to be very interesting. But I am Link584, and this has been an interesting conversation.